I think it was like every appointment I go into, there'd be something negative being told to me about me.
Really?
Yeah, and it was a very anxiety-inducing time. I had a lot of tears, a lot of I guess feeling sorry for myself and thinking, oh my God, why me? But like, in retrospect, I actually had a really good journey. But you don't know what your journey's going to be like when you're in it.
You don't. And also it's, it's hard to, you can't compare your story to someone else's because it's all relative to you. You're experiencing it. It's your heartache, your disappointment, your anger, whatever it is that you're feeling at certain points. You have to be allowed to feel them.
Oh, 100%. And I was in my feels a lot of the time. And looking back, if me had known that I was going to be pregnant at whatever time I was pregnant with my child and everything was going to go okay and everything like that, I wish I could have told me and said, just don't worry, it's going to be fine.
Yeah.
But the not knowing is one of the hardest parts of going through fertility issues is not only how long is this going to take, but will it ever happen for me?
Yeah. Because
you do obviously read about so many people who are less fortunate and who don't ever have kids or have really terrible journeys. So, yeah, it's that fear of the unknown that makes it really difficult.
Absolutely. How did you mentally get yourself through that time?
Every day I did my gratitude.
Really?
Which I used to literally rinse people for doing.
But when it works,
I'd see it on social media and people were doing that. I'm so grateful for this. And I'd be like, oh my God. And every morning, I think I probably drove James, my husband, crazy because I'd be like, we're so lucky that we have a roof over our head and we're so lucky that our dogs are so well behaved and like all these things that I would just every day be like, oh, aren't we so lucky for this? And, it just really got me through because there was still so much to be grateful for in life and I had to focus on the positives of my life. And I'm lucky as well that my husband was just always, he never faltered. He was, it's going to happen. I'm not even worried.
Really?
Every single day. I'm not even, what are you crying about? What are you worried about? It's going to happen. It's going to happen. And I'm like, but what if it doesn't? What if it doesn't? And he was like my rock. He is just like my rock anyway in life, but he was my rock during that. So
I love that.
And I'm sure in his mind he had the same
worries,
but he just did not let it show.
Yeah.
Ever. So
what did your fertility journey look like?
So testing, I think, is just like the standard thing. I did every single test that you can think of. And I just tried everything, really. I don't really talk about it in too much detail because it's not just my journey.
Yeah.
It's also my partner's journey, and that's just something that we agreed. But I think every sort of fertility treatment or test that you can really think of, I did it, basically.
Did that help you make you feel proactive in it as well? And
I was
feel like you were taking some sort of control.
I was definitely obsessive, and I saw probably 4 specialists across a number of years. And if something wasn't working for me with someone, and I felt like they tried this and that, and it wasn't working, I would just move on. And I actually encourage other people to do the same because every doctor has different advice. Yeah. That's the really confusing thing that I found and that I think is a real flaw in the system. Because, what is the case then? How do we know what's true and what's the legit science of it? Yeah. Because every doctor will tell you, this doctor will tell me, actually, this is really bad about your body and this is going to make it really difficult and you're going to struggle. And then the next doctor would say, actually, that's not a thing and I don't agree and that's not the issue. This is the issue. It's just so inconsistent.
Really confusing.
Yeah, really confusing. And a lot of the research that I did was my own.
Really?
Scouring the internet, reading forums, reading other women's experiences, watching YouTube videos.
Was there a comfort in that?
No, that was hell. Right.
It's funny though, isn't it? That we put ourselves in positions where actually it's maybe not feeding us in a way that's healthy, but actually there's that desire, that almost desperation to kind of to have that information.
It was like a control thing. I fully know that about myself, that it was a control thing. And I think I sometimes do think if I hadn't been so obsessive with everything that I was doing and so proactive, would it have taken longer? more time, or, you know, I don't know. Or was my obsessiveness and my obsessive behaviour actually making it take long?
Hindering it. Yeah.
I don't
You
know.
just never know.
I don't know.
But the flip side of
that's the way
that
I
is
am.
if anything was different, then Willoughby wouldn't be Willoughby.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Exactly.
It'd be someone else.
Yeah, exactly. But I do feel for women who are going through fertility issues, because there is so much information out there, and a lot of it is conflicting. And I think there's a lot of misinformation out there as well. And I think for women, it can be very overwhelming and confusing. And who do you listen to? I guess also it's expensive.
Yeah.
You know, if you're having to wait for the NHS, you have to have been trying, I think, for at least a year or two to have fertility treatment. And then, you know, we know what the NHS is like. You know, there's so many delays with everything, and it's not necessarily prioritised. Yeah. So then you're kind of putting your fate in their hands and waiting for your appointments to come up. And that could add years on as well, because of how slow it could be. So I was very fortunate that I could put money into it.
Yeah, especially as women, you know, and we're told that our bodies as we get older or whatever, you know, you're just kind of like, it feels like a ticking bomb that's kind of like moving further away. Or
but it didn't for me. I don't know why, but I think I was more... the kind of information that I was reading or absorbing was more so, you have so much time.
Really?
Yes.
That's great.
Yeah. And I don't know if that's changed in the last few years, but I think what I thought was, do your career, do your thing, do this. You've got time. Yeah. You've got time. Yeah. So I was like, I have got time. I'm just going to, you know, just really chill about this. And it was only when I started speaking to doctors and them saying, actually, these are the scientific stats. You know, at this age, your fertility is at this, and then goes down, 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 and your eggs are dropping, and da, da, da. And it was like, oh, okay.
Was there a lot of heartache along the way with your fertility journey?
Yes, it was a constant, just years of crying and just like not really knowing how to feel. I don't know. It was just a really difficult time. But it's really hard to say that now, because now that I've got Willoughby, I kind of, this sounds weird, but like I've kind of non-avoided that. Like I'm kind of like...
It doesn't sound weird. I totally relate.
That just is whatever, you know, whatever. Like,
that was just what it took to get to there.
And now I've got him. I don't really even allow myself to think about it in too much detail, but I definitely don't get upset by anything.
Really?
Yeah, because I just feel so lucky
settled where you are
and
now.
So fortunate to have Willoughby. And that was my journey.